Hey, welcome to the City of Palaca Community Redevelopment Agency meeting on January 22nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order, starting with the invocation from Pastor Mowbray's not here, from Commissioner Campbell and the Pledge of Allegiance from Commissioner Jones. Please stand if you're able to.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy that you have bestowed upon us. God, we ask as we go forth with this meeting, God, that you allow us to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to make sound decisions to move this city forward. God, I ask that you bless every household that is represented not only in the chambers, but in the city of Palaca, God, giving them just covering them with your blood. I pray those prayers in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please join me in pledging the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Campbell.
President.
Commissioner John.
Present.
Commissioner Durham. Commissioner Pelletier.
Here.
Mr. Deputy.
Present.
You forgot me.
Mayor.
That's okay. It's not the first time somebody's forgotten. That's okay. I'm present though, just in case. Has everybody had the opportunity to read the minutes from December 8th, 2025?
Yes, move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to public comments. These are public comments for items not specifically on our agenda today. 4A, John Jenkins. Please give us your name and city or town of residence.
My name is John Jenkins. My office is here in Palaca, 43 St. John's Avenue, Palaca 432177. I'm now the vice president of RHP, which puts on the Azalea Festival. Miss Kathy couldn't be here today. She asked me to come speak. I've never spoken before with Senior Star, so I'm excited. I just wanted to stress the importance of the sidewalk and downtown construction as to not interfere with not just our festival, but also the Blue Crab Festival and I believe another Newtown Festival that's happening at the same time as Blue Crab. I just think it's very important that we try and work through those and make sure that the timeline works out. I did use the internet and kind of draft a timeline construction block by block to kind of help with different timelines to understand what's construction. I do a lot of construction personally. I mean, they say 4 to 5 weeks and it probably will happen, but there's always stuff that arises and delay things, and that's just construction. That's part of it. But I have these to share if y'all like to look at them. But kind of going on certain blocks that won't interfere with the festivals that are planned, throughout the year, and not just mine. Obviously I'm here to speak about mine, but I did speak to other people about their festivals today too. When I learned that I was asked to speak here today on behalf of RHP. But just, not just ours, like I said, all of them, Blue Crab, Newtown, any kind of festival, and making sure that also, certain areas too during Christmas time won't be severely affected with shopping and stuff like that. But that's my main concern. Just wanted to pass that along. Can I pass this? Can I hand these over? There's a whole stack over here. Some of it's, obviously it's very preliminary. It's
Yes, sir.
it's not accurate, but I just wanted to stress that today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody here for public comment for something not specific? Mr. Lee has a card, but it is specific. If you want to get up, Mr. Lee, and give your name and town or city of residence, rather.
Jody Lee, I live here in Palaca, 19 Creek Road. I'm here to kind of back up what Mr. Jenkins was just talking about. I'm a member of the RHP and help with the development of the Azalea Festival. And we like to try to make sure that everything is accessible for the people, the tourists that come in to attend the festival. And if we have a lot of construction, there could be some risk of people not being able to get in when they need to get in, people that have disabilities, handicapped people that need parking. We're going to be using up to the 4th Street, up to the 5th Street entrance, and we're going to use the courthouse parking lot. We're going to use, a lot of people use the Mayor's Bank to park and walk down to the festival. So we'd like to make sure that any construction that's taking place is at least west of that while the Azalea Festival is going on. And that should, if the further west you start, that should help out not only with the Azalea Festival, but with the Blue Crab as well.
Mhm.
So just keep that in mind. We appreciate your consideration on that and anything you can do to help us maintain this to be the 77th Azalea Festival. Want to make sure it goes all smoothly like they have in the past. So we appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. I think we can respond to that between city manager, Mr. Verrecchio, and we also did meet with the merchants, so. Ms.
Yes.
Kennedy, please.
Yes, please, thank you. We did have a meeting with with the downtown merchants. It was a good representation from the city, including Public Works Director, the contractors themselves, and our CRA coordinator. The intent was that we would be given a list of all of the festivals, and they would incorporate that in their 5-week planning for each block. So there's an intentional effort to make certain that we do nothing to hamper the success of any of the festivals during this period. And the period is expanding. Mr. Ferrecchio, can you come up and clarify more? But this period is going from, my understanding, February 1st to December 5th. So you can talk a little more.
Absolutely. We're gonna meet with them on Monday morning as far as scheduling goes, with the whole intention of making sure we're not impeding any of our events. We're gonna talk about the weekends, how they're gonna clean up, how they're gonna move everything out of the way, and how they can bounce around to best avoid. I guess one of the major questions is, which side are they gonna start on? Are they gonna start down on 4th, or are they gonna start up on 11th? Right now, depending on the schedule and having come to terms with that, is where are they gonna be a year from now at the end of the project? So if you start down 11, we're gonna have the same problem with the events a year from now. Meaning they're gonna be down on 4th Street and in that area. If they start down there on 4th Street and work their way back, within 2 months, they should be far enough down and out of the way. So we're gonna look at it collectively tomorrow, or Monday morning, I'm sorry, with the contractors.
Right.
And we'll come to some good solid decisions as far as the start date go. I'm hoping that we can figure that out at that meeting as well, Mondays. We are, do not interrupt, and everything goes as smoothly as possible. Yes, ma'am.
Would it be possible to start with 11th, 10th and 9th, and then bounce down to 4th and 5th and get those done, and then go back again, so we avoid as much as possible, and you know, we're gonna run into hopefully it'll all be done before Thanksgiving for the
Yeah.
Christmas parade.
That will be part of the conversation.
I know, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out a compromise so we can make everybody
What we
happy.
want to do is add to their schedule. So every time we tell them they have to jump 4 blocks, is that gonna add 30 days to the schedule? And
We don't want
No,
that.
they didn't say that when we were at the meeting, that's why
I
I'm
think
bringing that up.
Like they're under the impression that they could start on one side, and if they had to jump a block, that'd be different than going from the one side.
Right.
Okay, I get that, I get that.
I will certainly work with them on that up to percent, see what conclusions we come up to. That would be the ideal situation, yes, ma'am.
Okay, because Ms. Kathy did come in to talk to me and she was asking if it could be started at the 1100 block, and so I'm just relaying that
Sure.
for you to share with them.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
This is good.
Yeah.
On to regular business, discussion, direction, progress of the streetscape project activities, communication to the public.
Mm.
Um,
Before I start, Mayor, Commissioner, Board, I would like to introduce our new CRA coordinator, Ms. Nicole Off. She comes with a good deal of experience and has already jumped in and started working.
Welcome, Ms. Off. We're happy to have you. Press your speaker button.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Question at the beginning of the week was brought to me by Mr. Sam Deputy, inquiring about efforts put forward using CRA budget to communicate to the public that businesses are still open to mitigate any business impacts. And we can use we can use funds according to the statutory basis of 163.370. We just have to be really careful of what the marketing is. It can be any sort of wayfinding, signage directing customers to open businesses. It can be updating the public on timelines, regular construction updates, phases, closures, and access. What we have to be really careful of is anything stating language such as come downtown or we're open. You have to stay away from that. So as long as we're very careful about what the signage and public communications are, we can definitely use CRA funds for that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Campbell.
So I know previously, we talked a lot about the wayfindings, and a lot of that hindrance of moving forth with the wayfindings was based on the rebranding efforts of downtown. And I know that it has been at the forefront of our conversation, so I would be interested in knowing, even with the temporary signage, how quickly would we be able to get something and a sketch of how it will possibly look? Because of course, I know it won't be the final thing, but I would definitely want us to be able to be ahead of the curve when it comes down to the construction, to make sure that we do not be a hindrance to our downtown businesses, small businesses and things of that nature. So I would want us to be at the forefront and possibly have that out way before the actual construction starts, so that individuals that patronize those various businesses would have an idea of what it would look like prior to them going down, especially if we have individuals that travel from outside of our community that may not be as familiar with our downtown merchants. We want to make sure that those signs are easily identifiable when they are downtown.
And to that point, in today's meeting, item 6C, we will give an update
Thank you.
on exactly that. Thank you.
An update on the
On
sign.
the wayfinding, the branding, and so forth. That's mainly what Commissioner Campbell has been wanting to understand.
My concern in bringing it up is, this has been, this has been an 8-year project. I've been involved since the very beginning, and this is 6 years past due date. And the downtown businesses truly have suffered.
Yeah,
We've had the roads torn up, we've had the intersections torn up and everything, and now the sidewalks, and there's been, it could have been done different so that it was smoother. But those people involved are no longer here, so we're dealing with our situation. But my concern is, once people hear that this block is closed, they're gonna go elsewhere because it's just easier than to get through downtown. And so our downtown is gonna once again be struggling after just kind of recovering from the intersections. And we're going once again into the Christmas season, which we did the intersections starting, believe it or not, Thanksgiving weekend, which was a shock to us. And so my concern was to take the positive, instead of saying this block is closed, we need to say these parking lots are open. But my other concern is most of our businesses in my district don't depend upon Palaca people. My customers come from everywhere but Palaca. Magnolia's an hour wait on Sundays, and they're not Palaca, they're everywhere else. And then they come to me while they're waiting for a Magnolia. We're feeding off each other and we have some good energy going. But once we hear, you know, I'm trying to offset once we hear that it's difficult to get through town, which is why I wanted some advertising of some sort. But I understand that the new guidelines from the state hinder some of that. But I was wondering if we could somehow work with the chamber and tourism to offset this, because according to highway studies, a project like this, we're gonna take a 40% hit. And a 10% closure is the national average. So downtown's gonna take a hit, but our taxes aren't going down.
Our insurance actually has doubled downtown, even with the fire ratings. Businesses are under some strain. So that's what I wanted to see is how we could do that. And I think I was thinking it's one step more than just putting up signage, but it's,
You were thinking of marketing and outreach,
I would love to see some.
Facebook advertising, Instagram.
Yes.
So some of the things that we can do is social media advertising, advertise on our website, take advantage of the LED sign that we have down at on the
Right.
Port
as you're
Consolidated.
Coming down.
Yes. So those are some additional avenues that we can go to get that word
And
out.
Ms. Morgan was at the meeting, Kimberly from the chamber, and
Yes.
she's made a
Right.
commitment to assisting us
Yes,
in terms of making it clear that still open for business downtown. We're going to be beautiful and we're working towards being beautiful, but in the meantime, we are still open. So please come see us and see our progress.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And so Kimberly was committed to that too. So I think between her,
And-
Nicole
and
and
tourism,
Greta,
Palaca.
and Greta, and
Yes.
visit Palaca,
Right.
Gabrielle, I think there's a real commitment to making this as
Exactly.
as we can. And it is going to be, nobody's denying it's going to be difficult for all of us that have a business downtown. But I think we're going to come out the other end in a much better place. So I try to be optimistic and hope we can come up with solutions.
Yes,
to
we
make it
will
positive.
focus on that,
Or as
Mr.
possible.
Deputy.
Maybe we could have, if I may, a meeting of some of us to work on a plan to do that.
You gotta be careful with the sunshine
Right.
thing.
Correct.
I would like to offer that we would prepare a plan and send it out to the board. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more on that topic? Discussion, direction, landscape maintenance, and this, regular business B and new business A are basically the same item. Just for clarification, more or less. Ms. Orr?
Sure. The distinction is the direction for landscape maintenance is specifically centered around what's already there on Laurel Street and Oak Street. And what we've been doing is Joe and his gentleman from Public Works have been watering those trees. They have a 6-month timeframe to solidly root. So they've been watering those in the interim. But what we would like to do, because there's a little bit of shortage of resources and also only 2 places where they can currently get water, is to get a quote from Shane Ellison from Four Seasons, which we already have actually, to get that approved to continue watering at Laurel and Oak for now until we move into the second phase of the streetscape project where additional landscaping and trees will be planted. And then at that time, can I jump ahead?
Sure can,
Okay.
to St. John's, yeah.
To St. John's, once those are planted for St. John's Avenue, what the mayor had suggested is that we submit a formal RFP to have someone water and take care of all of that collectively. So it falls under one contract.
My take was that we're making a big investment in the downtown landscaping, and we don't want to lose it due to lack of maintenance and care. And I know I've certainly seen on social media citizens' concerns about the care of the trees and other landscaping. So I think that in respect of that as well.
So once we receive more information on the costs and the quote, perhaps we could bring this back.
For the next meeting.
Yes,
and
I
then we
prefer
can
that.
Probably make some decisions about the direction. Go
Yes.
ahead, Mr.
Uh,
Deputy.
in a
Wait,
question
stop,
on
stop
this,
for a second.
the maintenance of, the trees and the leaves and the street, right now, the guy that comes on Sundays to blow just blows it across the street and leaves it. Or they blow it into the drain. Are we including in this maintenance proposal, the cleaning of the St. John's Avenue? Because right now it's.
Are you referring to going forward when the streetscape project is complete?
Or, well, right now, or whenever this starts.
That, to my understanding, is not included at this time.
No.
quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How you doing?
Commissioner
Go ahead, you was leading before.
Which one?
Go ahead.
Commissioner Jones, please.
Wouldn't that be the job of the street sweeper? We have a street sweeper. I think the truck is actually being repaired, but we do have a street sweeper and that's part of their duty. So they will sweep the streets, Sam.
I understand that the
Commissioner.
street sweeper is non-repairable.
Well, we will have Mr. Verrecchio come up and speak to that,
That's just my,
Well-
the street sweeper. 1 second.
2,000.
Mr. Verrecchio, could you please come up and tell us about the status of the street sweeper?
As you know, the street sweeper has been down for quite some time. We have spent a considerable amount of money in the last year having the entire thing rebuilt. We've replaced all the parts, all new parts. And we still can't get compression where everything spins, spits, pushes, and does what it's supposed to, except suck up what it's doing. We had somebody come out just today, in fact, a outside contractor worked specifically on these, and he's trying to put together a quote for us at this time to get it up and running. That's where we are with it currently.
Not only that, haven't we spent 60,000?
Very close to 42,000 rebuilding.
42,000.
Yes, ma'am.
How much the new one cost?
About 425,000, so
And that's
Get it
why,
fixed.
yes,
that's why.
that's the plan. We're really trying to do everything we can to
Okay,
get it up and
1
running and working.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Yes, ma'am. Those trees that all are on St. John's, that's an elm, isn't it, with that flaky bark on them? Those trees have gotten so big and they're leaning out
They're
into
coming
the
out.
parking. I actually parallel parked by Sam's, Mr. Deputy's store the other day, and I hit one of them on the side of my truck, which doesn't matter, it's my work truck, doesn't matter. But I think that's something we need to look into. I don't know, some type of different, a tree with a more restricted growth or something. That those are getting big and they're just gonna get bigger.
Yeah, they're coming out, all those trees as part of the landscape project, and they're coming back with pines of some, not pines, the palms, thank you, the date palms and so on and so forth that aren't supposed to get that big and they're a little more manageable. Yes, they drop a lot more stuff. It's just gonna increase the maintenance as far as having to blow and clean up the sidewalks a little bit more, but you're not gonna have that overgrowth to that degree. They'll be much more manageable and easier for the city to maintain.
Okay.
Go ahead, Commissioner Davis.
So let me clarify. So you're saying the palms are gonna replace?
Yes, ma'am. They're every one of the planters that are currently down St. John's they're coming out and they're replacing them with new trees. Yes, ma'am. It's part of the streetscape project.
As a part of the streetscape project.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What I was going to do is get back to the sweeper.
Yes.
The vendor we used to fix it with the 40K approximately, is that one vendor?
No, that was actually two vendors. We
Okay.
used John Deere and then we used Ring Power, two very reputable companies who got in there and did everything they could, but apparently the back of the truck itself is bent. And that's where we're having a problem to get it put back into place so we can get compression in order to make the suction work again. I know that's a bit technical and I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm good.
But it's the big problem, and that's a very expensive fix, so we're trying to find, this guy who came here was an expert who worked on these over here, said he's seen this problem before, and he may have a fix for us, so we're currently waiting for his response, ma'am.
Okay, and I guess what I want to understand is when we went to these two reputable companies, they assessed, I'm sure, before they
Yes,
fixed.
ma'am.
And so what were they planning to do? What was the expected outcome that we paid for?
So, when these things get to over certain years, and I turned in a actual, plan of what we went over and did, you have to replace all the parts. Is what it is, so before you could, every time you replace a part, it moves on to the next part, so we figured we'd replace everything that needed to be replaced up to this point, which we did. But once you put everything back in place, that's when you find out the frame is off, and that's not a regular situation, so. When they did fix everything and got it all up and running, all the parts they installed, everything works properly and according to the way they're supposed to. They did offer to have that rest of it fixed, but at a much higher rate than we're gonna be paying this newer person. So we're trying to find the best deal to get it in the best situation. And not to mention, they had it for 7 months between the two contractors and it just kept bouncing
Correct.
back and forth, yes.
So my next question is, do we have a viable alternative to this defunct street sweeper that may be a better use of our funds than to continue trying to use this street sweeper? Because we want an expected outcome. And my question is, can we get that expected outcome in another way? And is there an opportunity to potentially sell this to someone who really needs a defunct street sweeper? So we can recuperate some
Chris is
funds, and
thinking-
not trying to be funny, but I just
Oh.
want to know before we continue spending without a
Understood.
corrected.
We could put it up in auction and get a fraction of what it's worth and unload it, but it would put it towards a new one, but it would be marginal at most.
Minuscule.
So let me rephrase my question. Is there an alternative to a street sweeper?
No, ma'am.
And I'm gonna go to these legitimate, but I've seen those smaller street sweepers. How
Yes.
much- What's the cost of those out of
So-
curiosity?
First and foremost, let me make clear, part of the street sweeper and how we received or obtained the street sweeper in the beginning is we've got funds from the state to do the state roadways as well with the street sweeper. We get funds from them every year to pay for it. Anything smaller than what we have currently would not be able to do the state roads. So that's kind of the conundrum we're in with that.
First, Commissioner Campbell?
I think for the word that Commissioner Davis used, defunct, I'm more concerned about the safety aspect of trying to repair something where the frame is bent. Generally, when a frame is bent on any type of vehicle, they deem it to be unrepairable or salvage worthy. And so I'm a tad bit concerned that we may be putting funding into something that potentially, was there damage done as far as accident, or how did the frame become bent if there was just generally operating it?
Okay. So let me rephrase frame bent, because we're going right to the structure of the vehicle being bent. That's not what I mean. What I mean is the backside where the air is drawn, the top part of where all the stuff comes into, it forms a vacuum. That part is bent. There's no fear of safety issues as
got
far as my operators go. Otherwise, we would have shut it down and moved it in a different direction long ago.
Gotcha.
But if we can get the thing to hold compression, it'll start back up again. I feel wholeheartedly that if this man offers us a viable solution to straightening out, that's what we're gonna go with. If not, we'll put it back in front, we'll make some decisions, move forward, and comfortably knowing we did everything we possibly could at a reasonable amount to fix what we have and not move into the area having to spend a tremendous amount of money to replace it at this time. So, yes, sorry.
Commissioner,
The suction
yeah.
part is not where it meets the surface of the road and it's not getting, it's in the back of the chute.
Yes, sir, correct.
John Deere and Caterpillar ain't gonna help you with that.
No, sir, that's,
You need to go to a machine/welding shop, Plaque Welding locally here, plus some others. You can get some bids, but they are who can fix that machine for you. I have great confidence in that.
we're on that track, sir, and we're hoping to get it done soon. I was hoping to have it done sooner rather than later, unfortunately, but we're on that track right now, sir.
And that, they can do that kind of work.
thank
sir.
you. Any additional questions of Mr. Verrecchio regarding this topic? Thank you. The next item C. Mr.
Yeah, we were thinking of pulling that, I believe.
Huh?
I believe item C, we were considering pulling this.
Yes, that's what I
From
was
the
just going to say. I
Okay,
thought
thank
Mr.
you.
Russo called me today and asked if it could be pulled.
Right.
So that, I was just going to say,
Okay.
yes, to the next meeting. 5, new business, Belton property. Future use discussion. Ms. Off?
Yes, so the city owns the Belton property, which is located at North 11th Street. And per the mayor's request, this is a vacant lot now, and she was wanting to open up a conversation regarding potential future use of that property.
And again, we've owned it for, I'm sorry, what? Go ahead.
Let's have a conversation,
Okay.
kind of loud.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Don't,
Yeah.
we're getting interrupted by the side by conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, I brought it up just because we do own that property as a city, and the house was demolished, as we all know, and it has been sitting there. There was the larger plan for the multimodal location, which is there with the train station and the Greyhound and et cetera, and Ride Solutions. But again, I just wanted to open that discussion if we have any thoughts about the future of that property. It's a vacant lot.
What are your suggestions, Mayor?
Any suggestions?
What's your
I think
suggestion?
that's, yeah, no, I really wanted the group to talk about it, but I mean, I do have thoughts that we either need to do something with it as a CRA/city, or perhaps put it on the market. I don't think we should own a lot of real estate if we have no purpose for it, and get it back on the tax rolls, but those were just some of my thoughts. I don't have anything specific in mind. I just wanted to bring up future discussions, so we start talking about it, and don't forget, I know we haven't forgotten, but it's sitting there vacant. It just seems kind of a waste. Anybody else have any thoughts? I just want to mull it.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do we have anything in our CRA plan that requires property, that we're trying to accomplish that could be a good fit for? And I'm just putting it out to have discussion. I'm stop there.
I would think the fact that we have the GAI consultants actually now performing the study of the CRA plan update, that perhaps a part of that effort will give us some ideas about how do we use this property and any other vacant properties that are in our CRA district.
Yeah, and
So that
generally,
would be one of the ways. that-
infill is a consideration, and
Mhm.
there's the possibility that the city could continue to keep the property, but lease it for infill. I
too.
mean, there's all sorts of possibilities, and I think it's just something maybe we should wait until the plan update and then discuss further
I
for anything
think
in
it's
this
quite
area, including
timely.
report consolidated, et cetera.
Right. And meanwhile, our new CRA coordinator is getting herself very familiar with our CRA plan, so we'll look at that as well.
Okay, thank you. It's running on the table. Anybody else have any thoughts? Okay. On to reports, November and December 2025 financial reports, Ms. Pierre.
Good evening, everyone. Presenting November and December financial statements. Included in the packet is a summary of the financials for both months, along with a detailed monthly line-by-line report. And just to give you a brief overview, we have received the funds for the tax increment, and you can see that in the revenues for the month of November and December. So we're in good shape there. And with the expenditures, you could see the progression from November to December. We've expended 15% in November, and then you can see the progression in December to 17% of expenditures.
I also
And
see in here that we still have the bill, we still have the I thought we still had the grant for events. Why did I think I see that? Maybe it's my amendment.
special events?
Yeah. Did we
Yes,
take
there
that out?
is. Yes,
Okay,
that's
fine.
page 2. If you're looking at November, the second
Okay.
portion of that, we do have for downtown, we have 15,000 budgeted that hasn't been
Right,
hasn't
but
been
that
expended.
has to be taken out, correct, Ms. West?
Yes,
Previously
Previously discussed this, that item needs to
right.
be part of our CRA budget.
Exactly.
Special events grants.
Right, we, because of the new law that Ms. West
No, it's an
identified.
old law, but yes, so we
Mhm.
have to allocate that money to another line item, basically. I was
Mhm.
gonna suggest public art, to increase the public art budget, which is at 25,000, to add that money to that. And then we need to really let people know that local artists, that there is the option to get some funding for public art. That was just my thought, whatever else anybody else has in mind.
Possibly marketing as well,
No, public art,
public arts.
yes, which is at 25,000 to increase that budget. 25,000 doesn't go very far for public
Mhm.
art projects.
If we're making changes to the budget, we're going to do a vote or I
Yes,
would
we
come
would
back
have
with the
to do.
resolution.
Well,
Have to
yeah,
do it.
and also it's a
Yeah,
transfer.
Yeah, we would.
Right.
I was
Okay.
just throwing out a suggestion. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts.
Come
before.
back with, we could come back,
Okay.
unless they give us a vote.
Okay.
Does anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we transfer that to public art, special events money.
Do you have a second?
Second.
The motion is second. All in favor? I'm sorry, discussion? Go ahead. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Well, since yeah, discussion. And
Commissioner
I
Jones.
think that the city manager kind of like asked, could we use part of those funds for wayfinding? And that's one of the big projects that we also have. What about splitting it in half? Half of it go to wayfinding and half of it go to public art.
We can do that, but we have quite a bit of funds in the CRA,
I mean,
yeah, that we need to allocate.
but it's, when you start talking about signage and that's just a suggestion. The
Okay.
disbursement, it's just a disbursement. It's not saying not do it, but it's dispersing it a little differently. Yeah.
There's 10,000 in signage for the north or south, south district. There's 10,000.
And I'll tell you why. I'll give you explanation. I heard Commissioner Campbell start talking about the wayfinding, but the additional will go towards businesses that being affected. We could say, the detour signs, tell them that these businesses, well, we can't say they're still open. I just heard that, but it was a big thing when we had businesses coming in and say, hey, listen, our business is closed and being affected and people don't know how to get to it. That was the St. John's Auto Body, I believe, came in here. So that extra money could go towards that kind of stuff. It won't take away from the budget that we already have for the wayfinding that we're doing right now. That's just a suggestion. Take it.
Go ahead, Commissioner Campbell.
I was gonna ask, because I know that there was we talked previously, and I'm not sure if it was CRA or commission with regards to the electronic signs. Could that be something that we take into consideration for having specifically for our downtown area? Which would be what's the messaging sign,
That we have out there.
not like the one that we have here. The
Oh,
portable
the
one that
portable.
would be able
Oh,
to
okay.
be on the different blocks
Yeah.
for consideration
Great.
throughout this time frame. That would be something that can be considered a wayfinding option that, hey, whatever messaging brand that comes, that could be something that could travel
Yes.
along the way. So maybe we can take in considerations. I mean, it shouldn't be any different of a quote than we already have previously, but I would like to see it be allocated to something a little bit more useful for the downtown, especially with the progress that we see coming that way. That would be another option for wayfinding to me, if you ask me.
Mayor,
I'm
can you
go ahead.
clarify vision for public art usage? Can you give us an example of what you?
So the only public, we do have murals, and we do have one sculpture near the riverfront, and then we have the doughboys and Navy soldiers. So we don't have any of the public art. Public art, there is a vast array of public art, and we have a lot of talented artists. If you go to any downtown community, there are far more public art than we have. The murals are beautiful. There's a limited amount of walls. I think we have to diversify our public art, and I think I'm not an artist. I think we'd have to turn to them to come up with some concepts to present in a plan. But it's just, I think, something that would add to downtown that we don't currently have. It's pretty stock after you get off the riverfront. There isn't a lot of public art, again, except for the murals.
Thanks. I just wanted to clarify that we're on this, that I understood what you meant by it. I will agree that we are very stark, and I lived previously in a community that had a very large public art presence, and it really does add a lot of value to the community. So, thank you.
Mayor, if I'm-
Go ahead.
I'm not against it, but I think that if we are looking to have money allocated, we should have a vision as a CRA of how we would want that to be presented, the areas that we would want to address, the so that we just don't have funding out there that people are applying for, and we're leaning on them to give us a vision of what they would like to do versus us putting something out there saying, this is what we would like to incorporate in our downtown, and then having those funds. So I would be against allocating funds for public art and we don't have a vision of how we want that to appear. Not saying that I don't support that, Mayor, but I just think having an allocation and not having the necessary strategic plan regarding the public art, that it will be a little bit off for me. So
But were you going to say something? Oh, Mr. Deputy?
Yes, Mayor, do we not have a section in the comprehensive plan that covers public art already?
We do, we have, no,
We don't,
we
okay.
don't. And I think allocating money would be then turning it back to our large arts committee, which includes Florida School of the Arts, and asking them for some concepts, letting them know. Right now, they know that historically, the mural committee has gotten this money, basically. Nobody else has. And again, that's fine, but again, to expand that, we have a huge arts community. I think we have to turn to them for some ideas. I'm not an artist, but I'm fine with either way. This was just to reallocate those funds. There are funds in the CRA. We have to use them or lose them. And so I'm suggesting we can do both. We can get wild and we can get the wayfinding signage and the public art. And we don't have to get this restrictive and count pennies in that way. It's not like the general fund. Go ahead, Ms.
I
Bishop.
do, Commissioner Jones alluded to it. May I ask, Ms. Carty, you said marketing.
I did.
What did you
I was
mean?
actually thinking in reference to during that streetscape period, that we were doing some marketing to
Oh,
keep the
okay.
businesses, since the conversation came up earlier.
Okay.
So I was thinking about that, but also with wayfinding as well. So if I made a recommendation at all, the 15,000, I would suggest that at least, 7,000 or 8,000 of it go to the public arts, and well, half and half, yeah.
let me ask this, and I'm asking, I don't want to make it appear, but is there a way that we would be able to allocate it to a line that says the public art, or so that way we won't have to come back and change a line item in the future to where it can go for either or wayfinding or public art?
Oh, in the voting right
Because what
now?
I'm struggling
Mhm.
with, and I want to support the mayor in bringing this to us, because again, I think it's a wonderful opportunity, but I'm a little bit concerned that with the budget cycle, that this may not be accomplished, this particular budget cycle. And so instead of you all having to come back to us to allocate or move funding, is there a way that that can be a combination or some of sorts? And it's just a question.
Okay,
If it's a yay, yes. If it's not, I just wanted to put that out there.
yes, sir.
But I have no problem either way. But I do want to support the mayor with that effort of public art. But I'm just concerned that the vision, it's not really there right now, even though we would have to lean to those potential local individuals. But I think as of now, I just
Okay, so to answer your first question, it's wise to be specific where we place the funds. So public arts is one line item, wayfinding is another one. And so it would be wise to whatever amount the commissioners or the board agree upon, that we would put those funds precisely in the line that is designated for. Because we now have the CRA coordinator on site, she can make this one of her priorities, as she's doing now, and try to ensure that we spend the money as you all have budgeted. Meaning that we would work to get those objectives met.
And I was on the committee who got the grant, we ended up with the bass fish sculpture. And when we got that grant, we didn't have, then put out for proposals like an
Right.
RFP. We applied for the grant, we got the funding, we kind of specified we wanted to do something on different public art wise in our city because we were limited to what we had. And we got that grant. And from there, we did put out a request for proposals And we got those, we got several sculptures, and in the end, that was the one chosen by the public and by the committee. So that was
Okay.
kind of the process. I'm saying it just usually happens that way. And I think we could start that process before the end of the budget year. Would that sculpture be there, or would that other piece of public art, whatever it may be there? Probably not, but you could start the process.
We will do our best to complete it this year.
Again, after all this discussion, what is the wish of the board?
Call for question. I mean, call for vote,
Um,
because the motion is already out there.
Yeah, we can do both.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
No. Okay.
Hey, because I don't know what the full discussion was, so I'm gonna have to say nay at this point. Well, no, the motion was made. I mean, I came in on the discussion. It's been going on since I've been
So,
here.
we have to make a decision about those funds being reallocated to something from the special.
So can we have a roll call, please? I don't know.
Okay, let's do a roll call.
Can you
please.
can I have a clear motion?
Sure. the-
Right. I didn't
I'll
get a
repeat
clear
the
motion.
motion is by the mayor for public art current, to have the funds go into public art. And Commissioner Davis seconded the motion.
Hold on. The mayor can't make the motion.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
mayor brought the idea up. Deputy made the
Yeah.
motion. Davis seconded.
And it was the money that had to be moved out of the special events grant because we can't use CRA funds
Correct.
for that.
Okay,
So that money had to be reallocated.
thank you, because I wasn't in on this.
But, and tell them what the discussion was, though.
The discussion then went to, should those funds be added to the public art line item, or should it go to wayfinding signage, or should it be split between the two?
Right.
Okay, and then we had a vote and we need a roll call on that vote for public art for the full 15,000 of the fund.
Right.
Roll call, please.
Right, and that's what we had the vote on.
And my question is, do they have a line item for the public art?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And for wayfinding.
Okay.
So, roll call, please.
First motion. Commissioner Borum,
Yes,
Commissioner Jones,
Nay.
Commissioner Campbell,
After clarification, nay.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Pelletier,
Nay.
Mr. Deputy,
Yes.
Mayor Carrera.
Yes. So 4-3, the motion passed. Thank you, everybody.
I have a good
Go ahead.
question on budget. On the, and in the future, I'll get a hold, when I get up to speed, I'll try to call you ahead of the meeting. On the, central business district budget, the 911,000 that goes to Better Place, what is that actually going towards?
That
What
is,
page?
Number 9134.
Sorry, city manager, you were gonna say something?
I was gonna say, that is the funding for, part of the funding for the streetscape project.
Okay,
So that's why you can't touch it.
no, that's fine. I just wanted
Oh,
clarification. on
Okay.
What that was. Thank you.
Anything else? Any other questions of Ms. Pierre? Thank you.
Matt, clarification, did Ms. Pierre gave the November, you gave November and December?
Yeah.
Okay.
On to reports at Streetscape Project Downtown Merchants Meeting, January 6th.
Ms. Off, please.
Ms. Ross?
This was.
To summarize, there was a merchant downtown meeting held about the streetscape project. A lot of the merchants, their questions were answered regarding the strategies to minimize the construction impact on their business, coordinate construction phases to maintain the availability for those festivals, make sure there was no impact on that as well. Overview of proposed bump out locations, intended safety, and walkability benefits. Also, there was some discussion over bike lanes. So those were just some of the items in the meeting, and that was just to recap Additionally, Public Works has also provided the following document. I just got these printed, so I apologize you didn't have them beforehand. But it's just to further clarify information that was discussed with the upcoming streetscape project.
Ms. Karen, can you please put the report up so we can all see the report as she's going over it, please? Thank you. Staff report for.
While she look at, may I ask,
Go ahead.
never mind, I was so.
The staff recommendation is that the city will keep the merchants updated on any timeline changes and work with them on discussed plan during upcoming festivals and events and provide regular communication.
And that was gonna be with you, Ms. Off.
Yeah, with me.
Ms. Hall, and also Ms. Morgan was going to, again, help from the chamber.
Mm-hmm. Kimberly Morgan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions?
Any questions?
About this? Okay, thank you. Update on logo and wayfinding signs as well.
I think we have a couple of slides to show. Yes. Yes.
And Ms. Hall is not here because she's
Yes.
anticipating her new granddaughter. She's with her daughter, so.
Yes.
So at the June 9th meeting, it was indicated that based on the previous presented information for the logos, that the board did not want a complete revamp of the logos and the wayfinding. They wanted a refresh of what was already in place. And Ms. Hall has worked diligently on getting that completed. So it is actually ready to go. She just isn't here to present that. So for the CRA part of it, I'm going to show you what we have.
Right. Are you able to pull it up?
The website, so. Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Is it this?
I think it was
Yeah.
sent, it was sent to
It
your
was sent.
email
Okay, yep.
and we made sure that everyone have it. Yeah.
So there's a few slides in there that are specific to CRA.
Yeah, and they're in the packet that we all receive.
Right.
For the public, that's unfortunate. They
Exactly.
can't
That's
see it,
in
but,
there. Yeah.
and I know.
So the final slide where it says relax, explore, repeat. That's what the CRA will be using at this time.
And Ms. Hall will be here for the next meeting.
Yes,
Go over this.
but we wanted to be certain that Commissioner Campbell had asked several times. I wanted him to know that we did complete the assignment and we will start using this.
So I have, one, I really don't see any different.
There is a
Let me-
small
let me
difference.
finish, please.
Oh, okay.
But I would want an understanding of what is that lopping through the river. If you look at the CRA portion, it
Right.
appears that there is something that where the river flows, what does the
It's the
significance?
abstract version of the current. No, I'm making that.
No, I'm just trying to get I just want an understanding of what does that represent, like,
The green
The wave, the kind of.
is the,
That's like.
is the way.
I'm serious. The color.
It's like a paintbrush dry to me.
and that's what I want clarity, because if
That-
this is
that
going to
green-
be, we should be able to identify, or at least what is the significance of that.
Okay.
And maybe I'm not saying I don't like it, but I want to know the significance of it. I mean, but that's just me. That's just me. I'll.
Yeah,
ask her.
unfortunately, yes.
Right.
Ms. Hall.
Because the intent was at least to utilize all of the work that had been done.
I understand.
Yeah,
But again,
and
And I think this is a preview. I think we have to save this for Miss Hall next
Yes.
meeting. I don't think we're gonna solve it right now in here without.
That's what give an
But she
update.
worked on it.
Absolutely. But
So-
just to go back to the previous conversation, so when we're talking about wayfinding for the upcoming streetscape project, then this would have to be postponed until the February meeting. So that would not be ready for any of that marketing or communications.
Unless we are okay with moving forward with the
Correct.
design.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead, Commissioner Palacio.
There's nothing for, this isn't the last one we're getting, is it?
No, and there's more to that. That's just specifically what is for CRA.
If-
Oh, you have the full deck. I only had the 4. Okay, I apologize.
We're always highlighting and talking about our river, where the Gym City on the St. John's. Why not more, I like the top part of, why not something more dignifying a river scene underneath the flat?
So I think
So you
that
know it's a river, not a
Wait,
paintbrush.
See, that's what I think that depicts on this, but it doesn't.
river scene underneath community redevelopment.
I agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
I think
One person at a time, please.
I think the idea based on conversation at previous meetings was to take what was already in place and just refresh it without making it too different for brand recognition. And I believe that was the intent of what you see there today.
And that this has been kind of the original, and the original the branding package that was done about Muldrew. This was kind of the look, but this is a more updated version of it.
Correct.
You can put a scene on the river, but for logos, it's usually not that busy. It's usually pretty basic, pretty graphic. But if we want to wait, I think we should wait for Miss Hall. It's just that some of the information that will be sent out will be with the old logo. And if we're okay with that, then we should wait until February. That's our choices, so. Is that what we prefer to wait? Okay, I'm getting.
We'll
He
wait.
should take his input at least,
Okay, well, go ahead.
because both of you guys.
Do you
have
want to
input.
get everybody, so I'll start with Commissioner Davis. We'll go down the line. What are your thoughts?
Feedback on this logo?
Yeah.
So I like the logo, and then, let me back up. Yes, I like it. I think it's aesthetically pleasing. When I looked at it, what I got from the art underneath the verbiage is I got river and I got river and I got river flow with an abstract piece on it. So I just saw water. So that's my take on it. I do think it yields to when I look at this, I think of a print or like you said, wayfinding or something. And I think it yields to a clean logo. So I'm going to stop there. But I
Mr.
know
Deputy.
art is in the eye of the beholder.
And we only have 4 more minutes.
I do like
Yeah.
the logo, but when I'm looking at Community Redevelopment Agency, are we redeveloping the river or are we redeveloping our downtown? Because relax, explore, repeat, I like that, and that can apply to the downtown, but I don't see what we're redeveloping because it's not the river.
So I think we have to hold tight and table.
Right,
We have
that's
this
not-
discussion for the next meeting because we're running out of time.
I think it's a
Out
prime
time.
example of why we don't like having meetings before meetings.
Well, but we can do this on a separate day, but again, that's another discussion. We've got to go on to the cop staffing and enforcement update.
Okay. Wait, 1 minute.
I will go fast.
Okay.
You guys, do you guys have our presentation?
Mhm.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
gonna skip to, I want to say it's slide 3. And just give a brief overview of our foot patrols. And this reporting period, which was October 16th to January 15th, our 2 cops officers assigned to the CRA did 135 miles in foot patrols. From a enforcement perspective, and continuing the foot patrols, we've issued numerous trespass warnings to folks who have been in the downtown area causing disturbances. some of our business owners have expressed during this quarter some concerns for stop sign running. The CRA guys have done a lot of stop sign enforcement. Currently, we are in the end of week 2, beginning of week 3 for the new ordinance
Yeah.
for the truck route. So we are making a lot of traffic stops on tractor trailers for the enforcement and education of that new ordinance. But if you go to the calls for service, we had in this quarter, we had 111 calls for service in the CRA district, 11 of which resulted in police reports. 4 of those reports were traffic crashes. 2 were natural death investigations. 1 was a Baker Act. 1 was a property damage report. 1 was a juvenile runaway. 1 was an information report, and 1 was an exposure incident where a gentleman was arrested. I know I didn't quite go over everything, but for the sake of time, I tried to go fast. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Make it quick. Go ahead.
I wanted to say thank you because my bench has been cleaner than it has been in a long time. And I'm not over there scrubbing with bleach, and I appreciate that so much. My next concern, is of course, the semis coming through, because I would like to know why my intersection has wagon ruts in 2 years, but that's not you, that's somebody else.
Yes, sir.
But it's the bicycles and the electric bikes on the sidewalk. I'm about taken out every day. Nobody looks out our doors and looks to the left and looks to the right or whatever to see if it's safe. You don't do that coming out of your bedroom at home with the kids, but we have to do that on the street because the electric bikes they're fast.
Yes, sir.
And they're not stopping at the corners, even on the sidewalks. They're just going straight across.
We're gonna have to bring that to.
Yes, stop.
Joshua.
Yes, but otherwise, we're making progress, and I am so appreciative of what y'all are doing.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank
Commissioner
you.
Pelletier quickly.
I'll be very brief. The truck stops, are you referring to Krill Avenue?
On Krill Avenue, on 9th Street, anywhere where someone that's
Right.
driving a tractor trailer is violating the new ordinance for the current truck route. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I don't know if we can have time to do.
I don't think so, other than
No,
to say,
we've got to stop now because
We
we're
have
going
to
into
stop.
our commission meeting. So, thank you, everybody. Motion to adjourn?
thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna work hard.
Welcome to the City of Palaca City Commission meeting on January 22nd, 2026 at 6 PM. I'm calling this meeting to order with an invocation from, is Pastor Mulberry still tuned in? An invocation from Commissioner Davis and pledge of allegiance from Commissioner Borum. Please stand if you're able.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. God, we ask that you guide and direct each and every one of us as we make decisions so that our city can be better. God, we pray for protection. We pray for guidance. We pray for just clarity. And again, Lord, we just thank you for our city. We ask these in all blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Commissioner Campbell,
Present.
Davis, then Commissioner Borum,
Present.
Mayor Guerrero.
Present. Thank you. We have quorum. On to approval of the minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes from January 8th, 2026?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to public recognition presentations. In the spotlight, Employee of the Month, Ms. Jones.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, thank you once again for this opportunity to continue for the third year of recognizing our employees as well as our departments during this new season of outstanding performance and work that they're doing. And for the month of January, we would like to recognize our administrative assistant at our Community Affairs Department, Ms. Jessica Cruz. I know.
I'm gonna be very brief. 2 years ago, when I interviewed Ms. Cruz for the job, she was very hesitant on what she could achieve. Oh, throughout the last year and a half, 2 years, she has been outstanding. She was very shy to be on the radio. She didn't like to go live on any kind of events that we had, but now you can see we can't get her to stop talking. If you read some of the things, some of the community members have gave me emails and everything about how great job she's doing, from Mr. Vito Russo to Sam Deputy, who just left out of here, Wayne McLean and Denise them have gave me emails of saying the wonderful job they have working with her. Throughout this process at Jenkins would not be where it's at without her help. The staff loved her. Reno and Mr. James wanted to be here, but we got basketball, but Ms. Sheffield is here. And so we came here to support her. So I'm not gonna keep talking. I can't do what I do without her help. So I want to let her know that you appreciate it. And now you see that the city appreciates you. So thank you.
All right.
Not my skill set, but I'll try.
Maybe small.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Well deserved. Well deserved. No, I'm
Sorry.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Laura Pavlis, Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Pavlis.
He's like, do we need to, okay, all right. I'm gonna watch that right there. Okay. And I'm doing this unscripted, so you're all in for a fun ride. And we just got in from Tallahassee. It's great to see everybody there. We just, so we had our rural counties day and, at the Capitol, so that was a great time with our giant blow up fish. It was awesome. So I'm Laura Pavlis. I'm the president of the chamber. And, Marcia asked me to just kind of come give a little update on all the fun things that we've been working on as an organization. And so one of the things to highlight is our Chamber of Commerce, and every other community, it's structured differently. So in Clay County where I was previously, it was 3 separate organizations that handled tourism, economic development, and chamber membership. And then in Putnam County, we're fortunate to have a model where we have all of those efforts collectively working together under one roof, which is really important for, you know, unity and strengthening, especially with all of those types of things going on collaboratively in our community. So talking through those pillars, as we like to call them, and just kind of what's going on with all the different areas. So our chamber, with the chamber membership side of everything, we have our Taste of Putnam event coming up next year. It's our second annual event. We're really looking forward to hosting that. If you haven't already gotten your tickets, we finished our second cohort of our leadership program, which you were in our first cohort when we brought it back, Ms. Davis. So we're getting ready for our third cohort in 2026 of that program to cultivate and bring in new leaders into the community. We also have our business after hours events going on for the year to support our B2B networking. We have that calendar filled out for the rest of the year. And the other thing that we've been talking about, so last year we kind of set a precedent that any new business, they didn't have to be a chamber member that wanted to do a ribbon cutting in the community. We would wholeheartedly host and do their ribbon cuttings, and that's been really successful. It's a way for us to give value first and kind of show people what we're all about before we ask for anything in return, which is how we prefer to do things. And so then the other thing that we've been talking about is extending complimentary chamber membership to any new business that opens up in the city of Palatka. Honestly, it makes my job a lot easier. I don't have to show them what we're all about. Come on, let's help you get established. Come do your thing. And then once you're successful, then you'll just automatically understand the value and continue to be a part of our chamber and our organization. So that's something that we're excited to implement and get going for all the local businesses that want to partner and come on in. So that's all of our, and we have a bunch of new, we just did software cover, we have a ton of stuff going on with our chamber membership to support our B2B community, networking, councils, workforce development. So our tourism arm is crushing it. With Kimberly Morgan came on, she's just about hitting her 1 year. They're in the middle of a branding study, which is gonna yield a whole new branding effort for our organization, for the community. I think, Robbie, you were in some of those meetings, Mayor. So we're really excited to have that unveiled, probably the end of Q1. Q2, we'll have all that new branding, new messaging, all of that. And then we're also doing a marketing strategic plan kind of effort to really be focused and dialed in based off of data with all of our tourism efforts. So we're wrapping up that. We're also in the middle of doing an RFP for an advertising agency. You get a little bit better of an ad buy, ad spend, that kind of thing when you work in partnership with some of these different organizations. So we've got that out. And we have an RFP for a brand new website, which all those efforts, that's just going to be the start, the foundation to get us on the map. So hopefully you're starting to see some of this trickle out, but you should really expect to see some really awesome movement in our tourism that we've been working hard on, but it takes a minute and now we're getting ready to unveil it. And so then the thing that everybody always wants to talk about is economic development and our Elevate pillar. So you have, I think on your agenda tonight, Project Polly, which we've been working with. That project was actually going to locate outside of the city. And honestly, the site that they were looking at was not a good fit for the project. And so working with our partners, we've been able to locate them to a site in the city. And so it's closing in and a couple steps away from, we'll be able to do the ribbon cutting and announce that project. That's that $39 million project, 80 high wage jobs. That'll be, and then we also have Project Pavers, which I think is announced now as Tri-Circle Pavers. We're still talking to them. We've been working with some of their water and sewer extensions and trying to figure out if we can get that solved, and EDA grants and all those kinds of things. So I'm out of time. Happy to answer any questions. It's obviously just the top, but we've got a lot going on.
Does anybody have any questions of Ms. Pappas? Go ahead, Commissioner Davis.
One, I have a comment and a question. And first of all, thank you for all you do. The energy that your new staff and that you've brought to not just the city, but the county is very visible. And I personally appreciate it, especially as a resident of Palatka. But you guys have a lot of projects going on, and you mentioned a couple here. Is there just one other one that will have a major impact that you could mention?
We have a lot, so I'm assuming that you probably want me to talk about the Legacy project, which is at the backside of the airport that we've been helping with for probably close to a year. We've been in conversation with them. So they are through their due diligence, they're through the state, they're back to the county, they're done with all of that. They're still finishing up their civil and their site plan. And that civil is what's going to determine whether or not they're able to locate into the city with annexation or if they will operate in the county. And so, yeah, we're still supporting that project. They're saying very conservatively 200 million. I mean, I think easy math, that project is going to go well over 300 million by the time it's done. It is still a competitive environment. I'm sure you've seen the press releases, the competition in Nassau. There's two other communities also that haven't gone public that are vying for that project as well. So there's still a lot of competition on that project. We're still heavily engaged.
But the good news, I think, is the Legacies kind of have an advanced, they're more advanced in their process
Yeah.
than some of these other locations. So
Mhm.
hopefully that will help them. move
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, I had to learn a lot about the whole business side of that world, all the motorsports. If you watch the F1 movie, I learned a lot. Yeah, it's a whole different business model.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Commissioner Jones. I know there's Jones.
Project Polly, I know you mentioned it, but could you expand on what type of industry is that?
So it's a PVC manufacturing company. And so the site that they're looking at is right next to Camarco at the back end of the business park there, which is the perfect place to put a company like that. All the infrastructure is there. So this is a perfect example of a shovel-ready site. I mean, it's still forested, but you know, the water and sewer is right there. The electric is right there. Gas is not too far away. The telecommunications are right there. And so, the amount of due diligence that that company would have had to do if they had located at the other site would have been extraordinarily cost prohibitive. And just the amount of time and engineering and everything else it just would have been, to me, insurmountable. So the site that they're looking at going into now is absolutely the perfect fit, and we're excited to see it all come to fruition. I think they're going to be wildly successful.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ball?
Yes, I just want to just commend you for all the wonderful work that you've done. You are certainly, you've brought new energy to Palatka. We see the results as these new businesses are joining. You're going out, you're making things happen. All of and especially with the ribbon cutting when you're recognizing new businesses, as well as you're also just automatic membership for people who are starting new business. That's huge. It's it might be small to the business owners, but that's a huge thing for those guys. And we want to thank you for that. You have changed the model per se, because again, it was hard to get people to join, especially when they're having to pay out money and trying to start up new businesses, as
Yeah.
well as being recognized.
Yeah, so our goal is we want to help the business get successful. We want to help them. And then once they're up and running and all the things, well, you have enough new challenges when you start a business. And so that's such an easy thing for us to do. We're starting a new program. We're going to talk about it in our March economic development luncheon. We're going to unveil something if you've had little snippets at our board meetings, but we've been working with Carlton Robinson with Jax Bridges on beta testing an AI entrepreneur program for our small businesses, which you're probably going to geek out about that. I got to tell you about that. Yeah. Yeah. But stay tuned for that. We're also really excited to bring that level of support to our small businesses. So if you don't know who Carlson Robinson is, check him out. He's a pretty awesome dude. So to have him engaged locally down here in our community, I'm really excited about that too.
Yes, again,
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I just want to commend you for the work that you've done and how you have helped Palatka and Putnam County. I don't know where have you been all those years, but we certainly happy to have you here now.
And we're just getting started. That's what, we're just getting started, so.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Can you, the announcement when you said you hope we already bought our tickets?
Oh,
Can
for the
you talk
tasting
about
event?
that?
We're doing our second annual. So when I got here, I said, oh my gosh, Palatka, Putnam County, it's a foodie town. We have so many awesome small business, unique, family-owned restaurants. Like you need stretch pants if you're gonna live here. And so last year we changed up the model of our annual meeting that we do for the chamber. And I said, I'm coming for the Food and Wine Festival in Charleston. That's ours. We're taking that. And so that's what we're doing. So last year we had 7 vendors, new concept, trying to explain it. People hadn't been to a bite event or anything like that. So this year we have 15 signed up and a couple food trucks, and just excited to continue to grow that and get them the visibility and the notoriety. So everybody likes to eat. We can all bond on eating.
And people can go on the chamber website to look for how to purchase.
PutnamCountyChamber.com. Yep. And you can buy tickets. You don't have to be a member to come. It's cheaper if you're a member, but it's open to the public. We hope everybody comes in. Wear
Thank
your
you.
stretch pants. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Financial report, Miss. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. So within the packet that was submitted in the agenda includes a written summary of our financials along with a summary report, the monthly financials, the individual fund reports. I will say I did have a chance to meet with Commissioner Davis, and she is providing input as far as revamping the reports. But I will not read to anyone tonight. I'll just give you an overview, taking in all of the suggestions and welcoming more suggestions as far as what you would like to see for the financial reports. So just giving you an overview of each fund, just an overview that the financial condition is stable. There are a few funds that the revenues are we're watching, we're closely observing because we are 3 months into the fiscal year. As you know, the fiscal year starts in October and this is reporting December, so that's 25% of the year. And the simple measurement that we're looking at is any item that exceeds, or when it comes to revenue, as if it's below the 25%, then we would be watching. So we're carefully watching airport, utility, golf course, sanitation. And the general fund is in good shape. The revenues are 29.59%. And TIF revenues are also in good shape. That's 37.68% of revenues. And for expenditures, we're doing fairly well. The only fund that we're carefully looking at is the golf course, and we are organizing with the head of the golf. His name slips my mind, but we are going to meet with him and sit down and revisit to figure out a more effective and fiscally effective way to operate golf. And that is my overview, just taking in all the comments that I've received thus far.
Any questions of Ms. Pia?
No, thank her for that. That's an excellent report, overview, and letting us know what we're watching and what's performing well. So that's exactly what we're looking for, at least from.
Commissioner Kemp?
I too want to say thank you for the work that you are doing and actually listening and getting the feedback that speaks volumes and keeping us aware of requests that may have come from someone else and making sure that we all have the information that was requested by certain individuals. So I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Problem.
City manager report?
Yes, so I mainly wanted to give an update on Moody Road Lift Station that we are working diligently to to expand it. We expect to have 2 new complete pumps with all the motors and generators and so forth. So hopefully within the next 6 months, the lift station, Moody Road Lift Station will be completed. This will extend the life of that lift station by at least 30 years. So just want to give you a heads up on that. The EDA grant, we're working with Northeast Florida Region Council. They're applying for an EPA Brownfield Assessment Coalition grant. And as a general purpose unit of that, we're a part of that coalition. So if they're awarded, we will also have funds to conduct environmental assessments. Our IT phone system is now operative, and one of the things that I will start doing is training staff more. They're not aware, I don't think, well enough of the some of the benefits of our phone system. The primary reason for that new phone system was to have the quick updating, and then also when they walk away, when staff walk away from their desks, they can literally forward the phone to their cell phone so that we're more responsive. We've gotten complaints about not answering the phone. So yes, go ahead. Yes, sir.
We hire someone to
He
make
did.
sure that staff is
Yes.
aware of all of those things.
And he did do that, but I'm looking at the usage by the staff. The usage is not as high as it needs to be.
I was just taken by the words that you say that you're gonna train, but we.
Not me, no, I mean, I will
Just wanna make sure that
authorize
we-
the training.
That
No, we
should
have,
be paid for.
yes, we do have that individual, not I. Sorry about that. I will not be training, don't even know how to use it. Okay, additionally, the airport, they're working on their 28J projects. And so we are now working on the AWOS and the airfield painting, and that should be done very soon as well. Human resources with critical positions. We've now had 3 filled. These are some critical, and it's making a change also. Our financial specialist too, I think she's been with us 2 weeks, grant manager, grant writer and administrator, by Monday. Both of those will be on board, and we are making progress as well with the commissioner legislative aid. We've had, maybe 9 interviews, and we hope to hopefully have a candidate perhaps by the end of this week. Also, the positions of Assistant City Manager, Human Resources Director, we were directed to post those as soon as we could. We did do that, I think, this week. Okay, and that's it for my update. I was able to attend yesterday and today, the Rural County Day, and I must admit that it was very effective. And so I just leave it there. It was a very well-spent day.
Thank you. Any questions, Ms. Carter?
Did I have pictures? Do you have pictures, Ms. Karen? If you can give them a quick glance, that would be helpful, if that's possible. Oh, so that is,
Corey.
yes, sir. And so I was able to, talk to him about Palaca, and he was very much aware of what we're doing. He knows the growth that's going on here. Do you have you have another one? I think I was with SAP, was it? How's, right, so, yes, right, I was with him also, and Commissioner Davis and I today had a great opportunity to share with him, and he also gave us a lot of good pointers, so very beneficial meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Going on to public comments. These are public comments for items not specifically listed on the agenda. Is there anybody here for public comment? For items not listed on the agenda? Please give us your name and city or town of residence for the record.
Good evening. My name is Robbie Clunch. I live in Palatka, Florida. Good evening, everybody, mayor, commissioners. Back on December 29th, I submitted a public records request. I got the response that the city received it and I would receive my public records request per if they could find it. I got no response after that. That was the following day, I believe, the 30th. I have reached out twice to find out a follow-up, what's going on, something holding it up, did I miss an email? So forth, maybe an invoice, so forth. No response. So, basically, I'm here just to give everybody a copy of the public records request.
That's it.
Yeah. I have one for each commissioner and then, 1, 2, 3,
Commissioner, well, we can't talk.
5. Would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. This would be for the commissioners. Oh. I don't understand it. She's always been very, very helpful. I don't understand why I can't get this fulfilled. Or at least get a response to my email.
Can we answer now?
Well, I think we just have to, we will answer, but
No.
we have to wait and see if there are any other public comments. before
Yes,
we do
ma'am.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all's time. Yep.
Thank you. Is there anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Okay, would you like to respond?
I would like to defer to the city clerk. Could you please respond?
I received his email.
Talk in the mic so they can hear you, please.
I received his email on December 30th. And I know it's 22 days since that email came in. And I received one just yesterday asking about it. So when I forward the email that comes in for a public records request, I send it out, let them know that I did receive it, then I send it out to the department. So right now it's sitting where the department should have the answers to that, but she's working on getting all of those answered as we speak. So I'm not sure. I should have, and I apologize, Mr. Wabi, I should have sent you an email today to let you know I did receive it and we were working on it. So I do apologize for that.
Thank you. On to the consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent agenda? No one has any items?
I make a motion that we accept consent agenda as printed.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you. On to public hearings. Second reading for ordinance 2025.
Mayor,
Commission and staff.
Okay, I'm sorry. What is it? Oh, on to regular business. I'm so sorry. Discussion, direction, and policy for transferring sick pay. Ms. Jones?
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, what's before you is an updated policy for our transfer of sick leave policy and the form that goes with it. In a review of our policy, recently during this past fiscal year, we've had several employees that had to go out for either accidents or maternity leave, but whatever unsuspected absences where sick leave was being donated. Although our employees have a heart to give, we found that some of the employees that were giving, and they were given a minimum of 8 or 16 hours, didn't have adequate leave time remaining if something were to happen for them. So I wanted to standardize something and put in place so that they wouldn't give out. They had to have a minimum remaining balance in order to donate. So that if something were to happen in their case, we wouldn't be in the same spot of trying to donate to them, if they exceeded that, amount of time. So what you have before you is simply, an updated form, and, a best practice is to have at least a minimum of 80 hours remaining if you're donating. So if they're donating, they want to donate, they have 96 hours, they can donate 16. They have to have remaining. So we want to put something in there, that these provisions had to be met, and to let them know that if an employee goes out and they're in their probationary period, that they cannot donate to that employee. They have to be out of their probationary period before then. And the form also that's attached, just added an ID number, the total available hours they have that the, department head would sign off on, and the remaining balance before it would be approved by HR. So that's what you have before you, something to just standardize, everything as it pertains to, the transfer of sick leave from one employee to other.
Any questions of Ms. Jones?
I don't have anything, I'm not against this by any stretch of the imagination. But is there an opportunity for us to kind of sway away from paper and become a little bit more tech savvy with some of the things that we're moving forth with, given the option of, you know, I'm fine with it, but we need to start moving, you know.
Yeah, once this form is updated and approved, most of our forms that we're doing there that can go through the system are gonna be electronically sent through to the department head through ADP. So we will be able to utilize it in that aspect.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, I do have something to say. In its reference to the sixth time, 80 hours or more remaining after they donate. Well, I know the importance of having sick time, the lack of sick time, having families, children, you know, there's times that you may have to take off. And that restriction actually handicap someone, from, like you said, kindness of their heart to donate to someone else that's in need. And I do understand that they may help someone and then they need it. But 80 hours, that's a lot of sick time that you must have. That's putting a restriction on this. And by golly, you know, if you end up sick, you don't, I mean, you you don't care if they had just 24 hours, but if they want to give you 8 hours, I think an employer should be able to do that. Thinking about the Brotherhood of Fire Department, Police Department, that work the 16 hours and 12-hour shifts. I had to use the sick bank before.
Right.
And I know how that feels. And I didn't know I was gonna get it when they volunteered. And I've also contributed to the sick bank. I just think that restriction is a bit much. I really do. And so maybe no one up here have used it or contributed, but I'm telling you, you don't know when you're gonna get
Yeah,
sick.
what we don't have, what city currently does not have is a sick pool. So employees don't donate into a pool, and if there's a need, then they can pull from that pool. We don't have that.
Right, but we can transfer it. It is
We have the ability,
to
but if an employee,
transfer it,
yeah,
right.
decide
And
to.
so what I'm saying basically is it's really not broken. So why put these type of restrictions on it? So do we have an example of something happened where
No particular incident where people were giving that didn't have, that needed it, not that. It's just that when people are giving 8 hours, and I understand that's a heart to do something, but most employees that are donating sick time have 500, 600 hours, 300 and something, because they can have as max of hours they want. They can have up to 1,920 hours of sick time. So we have employees that have astronomical amounts of sick time that they don't mind. They donate 120, they donate 200 hours, they do whatever. But for an employee, because there are no guidelines, I don't think it's fair to an employee, and I don't see the cap, because some caps are higher. In researching and looking, some people say you have to have a minimum of 120 hours. So I tried to just keep it, that's 2 weeks that an employee needs to maintain. And if they were to use those 2 weeks, we would send out if it's an emergency and ask for donations in any event for them as well. But if they don't have, if they haven't been able to accumulate that time, so if they haven't even been able to accumulate up to 80 hours without losing it, then it's kind of hard. I don't see it as a restriction, but I'm looking for guidance. So if you all want to make a change, I don't think it's a restriction. I think it's looking out for the employees to give them the opportunity to build up a sick bank. And then if they decide they want to give, hours, then they would be able to donate, but not draining what they have available for them.
The restriction is you must have 80 hours. So that is a restriction, first of all. And it also said that it should be off of probation. So that changed because you're stricken that, right?
I'm sorry. I took it off the bottom line, put it up into one, I just moved it up. If you're
So-
looking at the policy, it was already in there on item 6. I just moved it up to employees receiving donations must have completed the new hire probationary period. I moved it up to item B as one of the provisions that need to be met in order to receive sick leave donations. That's all I did. It was already in the policy.
So let me give you a hypothetical.
Yes, sir.
Person, new hire, just got hired on. And 3 weeks in, they got sick. And no fault of their own, they got sick, or had an accident. Well, let's just say they got sick. So you're saying that I couldn't donate sick time to that person because they haven't met their probationary period?
Never have been able to, because they're not even allowed. Our policy states that recommends that in our old system, it did it. It doesn't do it as effectively in ADP yet. They're still working out the twerks in that. But 90 days probationary period, your sick time, vacation time didn't even show up and it wasn't available for you.
Right, I understand they don't have it.
Yeah.
Right.
So they
haven't
wouldn't be able
accumulated
to
it.
utilize it. So an employee that comes in 3 weeks, have no sick time, they would go out without pay. This provision has always been in our sick policy. So if they can't use their sick time can't be donated to them to use either in that probationary period.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to put it, I wouldn't want that
Yeah,
80
if there are
hours.
any recommendations or considerations that need to be taken into consideration before I bring it back, please just let me know. These were the thoughts, and I was just finding best practices to try to cover our employees so that they have an ample sick time and still be able to donate when they exceed that amount, but not if they got 24 hours, want to give 16 because of the heart of who they want to help.
Well, couldn't it be if they only have 24, they can only donate 8?
Yeah, complicated.
That still doesn't fall, for me, from what I've researched, it doesn't fall into the best practices of how this policy needs to be outlined.
Does anybody else have any thoughts? Because I also doesn't make sense from my perspective to postpone a recommendation on this depending on how the commission feels. So anybody else have any thoughts, or do you have any specific suggestions?
I just said it. I said that part be taken out, 80-hour minimum, because that you have to have remaining. But, as we get older, we'll see. You might need those days. I'm telling you, but anyway, I guess I have a little more empathy.
Okay. Anybody have any?
Well, no, I'm all for, helping the employees as well, but I mean, I think when people fall in those situations like that and they don't have the hours or they don't meet that requirement, I don't understand why people, the other employees could not donate if they have the ample time to be able to do so. We don't want to make it more complicated because we've invested in the people, we've hired the people. So why, we don't want to punish them, because of they could have gotten fallen sick or they could have gotten in an accident or what have you. So I want to, whatever we can do to make it better to take care of the employees. And not to, make it difficult.
Commissioner Davis?
What's the city's policy on someone who leaves the city in terms of their sick leave?
Okay, if they've worked a minimum of 10 years, their sick time will be paid up to 1,920 hours at a quarter of what it's worth. If they have worked under 10 years, say an employee got 700 sick hours, worked only 7 years, and they decide to leave, none of that time is paid, defaults back. In my point, I was saying that there are so many employees that have astronomical amount of sick time, that when that email goes out for a severe case or a case that people really need that assistance, most of the people are willing to donate that have a lot of sick time. They're willing to donate. What you find, and that's with any organization, people that don't donate to a person that don't have, is because probably patterns of they've seen abuse of their sick time.
Correct.
And we cannot mandate employees to donate sick time.
Okay.
But so
So-
that's my.
That was my question. So
Yeah.
thank you. And of course, I want to offer another perspective. And that perspective is, I want to use the analogy of I'm a giver. I like to give people stuff. But don't worry, I have a husband who does not allow it. Because we oftentimes, what I hear is protection for employees. And that protection is we're protecting them from giving what they can't afford potentially with a kind of a stop gap or a start gap in this case. And so I just want to offer that protection, because if someone has 40 hours and donate 8, it's putting them at risk for not being able to have coverage if they have sick reasons to be out, or doctor's appointments or whatever. So I support this change. So thank you. You ready for a motion?
Anybody else have anything to say?
Anyway,
Please, go
I
ahead.
move that we accept the recommended sick leave transfer policy as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposition?
Nay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
4-5, passed. On to public hearings, second reading ordinance 2025-19. And let's see, or that request, ordinance, 2025-19, ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Palaca, Florida, establishing regulations for short-term vacation rentals. Is there anything further, questions about this, or anything to say? Okay, do we have a motion?
I move to approve ordinance 2025-19.
Second.
For motion is second. Is anybody here for public comment on this item? Seeing no close public comment, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to B, second reading request to annex, amend and rezone 902 South State Road 19, ordinance number 2026. Identified as parcel number 11-10-11-26-0000-50574-0012, Mr. Agama. Oh, and also ordinance number 2026-03, pertaining to the same property.
That is correct, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. Nothing has changed since the first reading of these ordinances, and we still recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion second. Anybody here for public comment on this item? Seeing none, close public comment. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Jennifer, I want some clarification.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And I asked it, our last meeting, Lorenzo, and I visited the site. So, to be clear, it said unit 1. Are there subunits in that unit 1?
No, sir. The unit 1 is the legal description. It's part of the legal description. It doesn't refer to unit 1 of the building,
So
of the different stores.
so
This is
all-
just a coincidence, that.
So the nail shop, the Rebuild Florida places, they are all unit 1.
That's correct. It's part of the legal
And
description.
they're all.
The whole parcel, yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. On to second reading request to annex, amend, and rezone 106 Comfort Road, ordinance number 2026-04 and 2026-06, parcel identification number 37-09-26-0000 -0230-0010. Mr. Agamo.
Same situation, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. Nothing has changed since your first reading, and we recommend approval of the ordinances.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion is second. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Adopt ordinance 2026-07 and 2026-08, amend future land use map and rezone parcel number 0310-26-0000 0010-0060, Flume Ordinance 2026-07, an ordinance of the City of Palaca, providing that the future land use map of the adopted comprehensive plan be amended with respect to the following parcel of land less than 50 acres in size from City of Palaca Public Building and Grounds, P2B, to City of Palaca Industrial.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, this is a request for a future land use amendment and the rezoning of a 5.68 acre parcel, which is located on 0 PRC Way. It has been reviewed by the planning board. Staff reviewed the standards and the policies in the comprehensive plan, and it meets all the standards and the comprehensive plan, and we are recommending approval. This parcel of land is the one that they're trying to get industrial designation in order to put the factory, the manufacturer that Laura was referring to earlier today. So it makes sense, and we recommend approval.
Okay, is there anybody here?
The applicant is here.
The applicant.
If you have any questions.
Questions of the applicant? I want to hear from the applicant.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about it.
Please give us your name and city of town of residence for the record.
Good evening, Commissioners. James Troiano. My address is 2000 Reed Street here in Palatka. I'm representing Beck-Sloan Properties. We're the property owner for that particular parcel. We're excited to have an opportunity to sell this property, or I'm sorry, to annex this property. Let me start all over again. I do apologize to rezone the property. Its particular zoning is not applicable to us at this time. We feel that this is an applicable zoning for us. It will certainly help the new property owners that we hope to come in on the property and to do this wonderful work for us and bring new jobs here to Putnam County and to Palatka. So we would hope that you all would see your way to support us in the change of this zoning.
Thank you. Any questions of Mr. Troiano?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Is anybody here for public comment on this item? Come on up, Ms. Kitchens.
Allegra Kitchens, Palatka, Florida, and I wholeheartedly approve of this project. This is what we need in Palatka. We need businesses that bring jobs. We need industries that bring jobs. Kudos to Beck-Sloan Properties. And I'm glad you all are in favor of passing this. This is what we need. We need businesses and industry, not housing. Housing follows business and industry, not vice versa. Please continue to support industries coming into Palatka and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, we close public comment. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Rezone ordinance 2026-08, an ordinance of the City of Palatka, Florida, providing that the official zoning map of the City of Palatka, Florida be amended from City of Palatka Airport District AP-1 to City of Palatka Light Industrial District M-1 for the following property. Parcel number 03-10-26-0000-0010-0060. Same property?
It's the same property, yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion is second. Any more public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you.
Thank you.
On to commissioner comments. Any of us have comments?
I do, Mayor.
Go ahead, Commissioner
I'm
Cowan.
happy to see that this time has flown by, as today I am celebrating my daughter turning 1 year old. Jordan Renee, so I have ample time to go and be with her before bedtime. But I also want to bring up a few things. As you all know, thank you also to the county for the joint meeting. I do believe that conversations that arose from that meeting would be beneficial as we begin to move forward. But I also want to take in consideration the system that they utilize to be called upon. I think that is something that we should take in consideration. I know Ms. Karen has been working diligently previously to identify systems that will be beneficial to us. But I think a lot of the flow of the meeting would flow a lot easier if we're able to identify individuals by a system that I just thought it was flawless outside of Commissioner Davis wanting to speak for Commissioner Jones and vice versa, those little things. But I think it would be an opportunity for us to enhance and take our meetings to the next step so that we won't, so that we can eliminate some of the chatter or over talking. So I would definitely like to make that a priority above a lot of things that we have on the table, because again, that vote, so the flow is just amazing. Mr. Sean has availed himself 2 different occasions for the community and individuals. The meeting was not well attended or not attended at all. So I would like to give a little bit direction to city manager to get with both Mr. Sean, the water, as well as Ms. Hall, to possibly put what he wanted to discuss or the community output and do some type of video that we would be able to point individuals to. I did reach out to him because I was at the facility when he was attempting to host a meeting, but I think the information is still needs to get out. And so it will give us a place to send citizens who may have questions or concerns with regards to that. My last thing is with regards to the policies. I've spoke previously about we had periodically at commission meetings some of the policies, older policies that hadn't been addressed in a while to come back before us so that we would be able to address some of those. I made that several meetings ago as well as the last meeting. So I would definitely want us to make sure that the requests that are made, that we take in consideration to bring them before the commission, much like we did today with the sick leave policy. It's time that we take a look. Times have changed, and I'm quite sure a lot of the policies that have been before us could use a good overview or possibly update. So I would still make that request, and I would make that request that it be happen sooner than later.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Jones,
I don't have anything, so.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes, just a couple of things. I know we are going to be in Tallahassee for Legislative Action Days. I have not received a packet that I can recall. The packet. This is it here?
You mean your travel packet?
No, the packet.
That's it
for-
right there.
This is, okay, this is what we talked to our priority, okay,
Yes, I did.
okay.
Yeah.
And we already have our legislators lined up, correct?
We did.
Okay,
I made certain.
okay. So I
And
just,
also make sure they did that today as well.
okay, I just wanted to make sure that
Mhm.
that was taken care of, so we know what we're doing when we
Exactly.
go up there. I don't like to have no empty meetings.
I agree.
The other thing, I noticed we talked about the number of positions that we have, and we need to be mindful that we have a lot of things on the bills being passed as it relates. A lot of them are moving right through the House. And then, you know, on the Senate side of the House, we need to be watching that as well. We have about 3 to 5 bills on the House side that is gonna could severely affect our revenue stream.
Yes.
Our ad valorem tax, that's our base tax. We already know that the governor is already looking to alleviate all of ad valorem tax.
Right.
And so what does that look like for the city? I'm not sure if we should be moving too fast with like a lot of hiring and among other things, because we don't know how legislation as they move and when things pass, what is that going to affect? Now, so I just think we need to just be a little bit more cautious on what we're um and we see revenues, some of the revenues are not where they need to be at right now. 25% is what we're looking at, and several departments was below that. And so we need to be looking at all of those different things as we move. So we need to be strategic as we do it and not just do it because there's a budget there.
Right.
And I think I will close out my comment as it relates to that. And the last thing with the public record request on the 22 days or whatever, that public record request that out there, I know it was acknowledged at first, but I think we need to have some form, if it's gonna be going over a certain number of days, there should be another reach out point to understand and know what the status of that public record request is and give some feedback if the individual leave their information, because not everybody, when they do public record requests, they're not, it's not, they don't have to provide information. They can be anonymous, but for the people who are identifiable, you have information that you can reach back out to them. My recommendation is that we make sure we let them know if things are going way beyond the normal time frame, which I think is generally like 72 hours, depending on the complexity of the request.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes, I'd just like to piggyback off what our city manager mentioned about attending Rural County Days. I also was there and it was very effective, even more effective than I anticipated. I want to thank Attorney West for keeping us abreast of potential bills and things that are in front of our legislators. It definitely gives us information so we can properly position ourselves in the best interest of our city. We gained some great insight from Representative Sapp that we will hopefully be able to talk about in an upcoming workshop. So we can make sure we're all on one page. Ms. Cardy put together this additional information today based on some information we gleaned, and I think it's really important. And I do want to just remind us, Commissioner Borum, I know we all share the concern of the potential impact to our ad valorem fees as income to our city because we absolutely depend on them. And there are some things we can do to prepare so that we're positioned to show the impact, the concrete impact to our city. And I think we'll be prepared for that. And our lobbyists, we met with the company today and they are absolutely working on our schedule. We should have that schedule sooner rather than later, so we are prepared and know how to arrive and where to be so we can use our time most efficiently and effectively. And finally, as Commissioner Campbell said, I'm grateful that we were able to have the joint county-city meeting. And today at Rural County Days, it was evident that we are definitely on the same page and we were able to share that and work with them and be united in what we're looking for so that we can all be better. So thank you. And we're all looking forward to legislative action days next week so we can represent our city well. So thank you.
With that said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. All right.